Just want to tell you about another course that I've written. After you've learnt all my technical analysis techniques, you will move on to another very important subject: trade management, account management, and risk management. What does that mean? You can be the best technical analyst in the world, and you can be capable of spotting incredible low-risk trade opportunities that might return 2R, 4R, 6R. But the problem is, if you don't understand how to trade manage, if you don't understand how to efficiently trade execute, and know how and when to trail your stops, know how and when just to enter the trade. Should you scale in? Should you go in all at one price? Too many people have FOMO just entering a trade. They think they should be in a trade all the time, or they spot an opportunity and they can't wait to jump in. They're in too early, they're over leveraging, or they miss the trade. And as the price moves away from their entry point, they're chasing it. The risk versus reward goes in the wrong direction. They're taking way too much risk because they're getting in at the wrong price, and the reward is too small as the price already moves towards the target. If you've been trading for a few weeks or months, you'll know what I'm talking about. You have to avoid that. And then when you're in the trade, when do you trail your stop? How far do you trail your stop? How many targets do you set for the trade? Do you scale out of the trade? And how do you scale out of the trade? Or do you add to the trade as it's winning? All of these things you need to think about as part of your strategy. You really have to understand how to place a trade, how to execute a trade, how to manage a trade. There are so many different ways of just entering a trade. And then there are so many different ways of managing a trade. I teach you how to leverage properly, not to over leverage, so you don't blow a hole in your account, so you don't risk too much on a trade. So we move on from trade management to account management and risk management. All of these, of course, are extremely important in trading. You might be able to spot great trade opportunities, but if you don't control your risk and your leverage, you will end up losing more money than you can afford to lose. I will teach you all the techniques so that you make sure you remain in control of your trades, in control of your account. You don't overtrade, you don't over leverage. You don't want to get into situations like so many people do, where you have 3 or 4 days when you make money and you do well, and then you spend the next day or two blowing all of it. This is all too common. I teach all of this in my trade management, account management, and risk management course. How to manage risk, how to make sure you don't blow a big hole in your account. Lots of hacks and tips for you to remain in control of your account, not over leverage, not over risk. If you've got more questions about this course, please do contact me.